Race we're about ready to begin. We have from Andover in the start is Grace Welsh. Grace is now on course, and in the start is Alex Hill from Masco. Time for Grace, 24.35. Alex Hill is on course, and Ali Perral from Austin Prep is in the start. Time for Alex Hill, 22.78. Ali Peralta's on course, and Elise Neely from North Andover is in the start. Time for Ali, 24.99. Elise Neely is on course, and Emma Watson from Manchester, Essex is in the start. Time for Elise, 28.73. Emma Watson is on course, and Jocelyn Travis from Haverhill is in the start. Time for Emma, 24.62. Jocelyn Travis is on course, and Grace Chandler from Newburyport is in the start. Time for Jocelyn, 27.45. Grace Chandler is on course, and Megan Ong from Andover is in the start. Grace's time, 23.04. Megan Ong is on course, and Charlotte Hill from Masco is in the start. Time for Megan, 23.79. Charlotte Hill is on course, and Sydney Pillar from Austin Prep is in the start. Time for Charlotte Hill, 22.34. Sydney Pillar is on course, and Emma DeBrosi from North Andover is in the start. Time for Sydney Pillar, 22.25. Emma DeBrosi is on the course, and Anya Bixby from Manchester, Essex is in the start. Time for Emma, 27.15. Anya Bixby is on course. Ashley Gagnon from Haverhill is in the start. Time for Anya Bixby, 25.34. Ashley Gagnon is on course, and Lily Turbanian from Newburyport is in the start. Time for Ashley, 24.03. Lily Cherbanian on course, and Elise Porter from Andover is in the start. Time for Lily, 23.66. Elise Porter is on course, and Ava Pelletier from Masco is in the start. Time for Elise, 24.37. Ava Pelletier is on course, and Vera Mascarelli from Austin Prep is in the start. Time for Ava, 22.75. Vera Mascarelli is on course, and Nina Muse from North Andover is in the start. Time for Vera, 23.79. Nina Muse is on course, and Grace Susko from Manchester, Essex is in the start. Time for Nina, 23.54. Gracie Susko is on course, and Emily Miller from Haverhill is in the start. Time for Gracie, 26.31. Emily Miller is on course, and Avery Keller from Newburyport is in the start. Emily Miller's time, 23.55. At the start is Bori Kim from Andover. Bori Kim on course, and Amanda Schneider from Masco is in the start. Time for Bori, 24.19. Amanda Schneider is on course, and Maggie Gove from Austin Prep is in the start. Time for Amanda, 22.55. Maggie Gove is on course, and Liat Moritz from North Andover is in the start. Time for Maggie, 24.25. Liat Moritz is on course, and Casey Twombly from Manchester, Essex is in the start. Time for Liat, 23.42. Casey Twombly is on course, Nora Hess from Haverhill in the start. Time for Casey, 26.89. Nora Hess on course, Shay Trail from Newburyport in the start. Time for Nora, 26.44. Shea Trail is on course. Brooke Downey from Andover is in the start. Time for Shea, 28.07. Brooke Downey on course. Nora Duval from Masconomet in the start. Time for Brooke, 24.06. Nora Duval on course. Jillian Whitney from Austin Prep in the start.
All those lined up for 4 o'clock. Snowboard lessons. Those lessons will be starting in 5 minutes. That's all those lined up for 4 o'clock. Snowboard lessons. Those lessons will be starting in 5 minutes. That's all spinning area.
Time for Nora, 23.26. Jillian Whitney on course. Liv Downer from North Andover in the start. Time for Jillian, 23.34. Liv Downer on course. And Grayson Crocker from Manchester, Essex is in the start.
Alright, you good on Fantastic 5?
Time for Liv, 24.83. Grayson Crocker is on course. Jordan Costa from Haverhill in the start. Grayson Crocker's time, 27.21. On course, Jordan Costa. Alex Sullivan from Newburyport in the start. Time for Jordan, 26.59. Alex Sullivan on course. Samantha Daly from Andover in the start. Time for Alex, 29.84. Samantha Daly from Andover is on course. Haley Serafino from Masconomet in the start. Time for Samantha, 24.60. Haley Serafino on course. Lizzie Hart is in the start from Austin Prep. Time for Haley, 23.53. On course is Lizzie Hart. Ava Barbato from North Andover is in the start. Time for Lizzie Hart, 24.39. Ava Barbato on course, and Sienna Crocker from Manchester, Essex in the start. Time for Ava, 25.90. Sienna Crocker on course. Marissa Dewey from Haverhill in the start. Time for Sienna, 27.47. Marissa Dewey on course. Rima Lambert from Newburyport is on course. Is at the start. Time for Marissa, 27.01. Rima Lambert on course. Dimitra Hatzigiannis from Andover in the start. Time for Rima, 34.31. Dimitra Hatzigiannis on course, and Megan Riley from Masco is in the start. Time for Dimitra, 24.27. Megan Riley is on course. Allie Jenks from Austin Prep in the start. Time for Megan, 22.43. Allie Jenks on course, and Sam Melville from North Andover in the start. Time for Allie, 25.33. Sam Melville on course, and Lydia Schwartz from Manchester, Essex in the start. Time for Sam, 23.29. Lydia Schwartz on course. Paula Contreras from Haverhill in the start. Time for Lydia, 27.31. Paula Contreras from Haverhill on the course. Josie Moore from Newburyport in the start. Time for Paula, 31.51. Josie Moore is on course, and Amanda Lichtenberg from Andover in the start.
You need to move it immediately. Thank you.
Time for Josie, 35.61. Amanda Lichtenberg on course, and Nicole Schneider from Masconomet in the start. Time for Amanda, 24.37. Nicole Schneider is on course. Allie Burns from Austin Prep in the start. Time for Nicole, 23.07. Allie Burns on course, and Vanessa Mabley from North Andover in the start.
We're looking for the owners of a white Honda Pilot, Massachusetts registration. 148. Remove your vehicle immediately. White Honda Pilot. 148.
Time for Allie, 26.35. Vanessa Mabley on course, and Katie Beppy from Manchester, Essex in the start. Time for Vanessa, 25.07. Katie Bappy on course, and Sydney Pichette from Haverhill in the start. Time for Katie, 26.95. Sydney Pichette is on course, and Molly Smith from Newburyport in the start. Time for Sydney, 29.10. Molly Smith on course. Elise Fergus from Andover in the start. Time for Molly Smith, 31.49. Elise Fergus on course, and Lauren Downs from Masconomet in the start. Time for Elise, 24.41. Lauren Downs on course. Lauren Vigneault from Austin Prep in the start. Time for Lauren, 23.86. Lauren Vigneault is on course, and Maddie Segru from North Andover in the start. Time for Lauren, 26.18. Maddie Segru on course. Maddie O'Grady from Manchester, Essex in the start. Time for Maddie Segru, 25.14. Maddie O'Grady on course, and Rachel Bauerman from Haverhill in the start. Time for Maddie O'Grady, 29.42. Rachel Bauerman on course. Lucy Baker from Andover in the start. Rachel Bauerman's time, 37.17. Lucy Baker on course. Agatha Markins on course. In the start. Time for Lucy, 25.57. Agatha Markins from Masconomet on course. Michelle LaFerriere from Austin Prep in the start. Time for Regatta, 24.98. Michelle LaFerriere from Austin Prep on course. Isabella Robinson from North Andover in the start.
It was on the floor, the quick stuff, right? Alright. Yeah, okay, I'll look for this. You can go hand over 10. That is a metal,
Time for Michelle, 27.62. Isabella Robinson on course. Celia Mantle from Manchester, Essex is in the start.
Yeah, just leave it on, even though it's not on. Like that, those boys don't like the gas.
Time for Isabella,
Turn it off right now.
28.69. Celia Mantle on course and Hannah Minnis from Haverhill in the start.
Alright, you get on here with that. We can set here. Yeah, set it off now.
Time for Celia, 30.54. Hannah Minnis on course and Madeline McCauley from Andover is in the start.
Alright, hand over 11. Yeah, you can hand over.
Time for Hannah, 29.91. Madeline McCauley on course. Ashley Elwell from Masconomet in the start.
Okay, she said off 11.
In the start is Nora Wright from Austin Prep.
Alright, and go hand over 11. Then go hand over. I don't know what kind of couple of
Time for Nora, 27.99. On course is Jen Bartlett from North Andover. And Maggie Light from Manchester, Essex is in the start. Time for Jen, 26.02. Maggie Light on course. Kate Garish from Haverhill in the start. Time for Maggie, 32.95. Kate Garish on course. Michaela Sherlock from Andover in the start. Time for Kate, 30.36. Michaela Sherlock on course. Liv White from Masconomet in the start. Time for Michaela, 26.57. Liv White on course. Lily Burns from Austin Prep in the start.
Send off.
Time for Liv, 25.01. Lily Burns on course. Julia Murphy from North Andover in the start. Time for Lily, 26.92. Julia Murphy on course. Stella Strobe from Manchester, Essex in the start. Time for Julia, 33.74. Stella Strobe on course. Megan Gomes from Haverhill in the start. Time for Stella, 33.96. Megan Gomes is on course, and Evie Hesketh from Andover in the start. Time for Megan, 39.25. Evie Hesketh on course, and Lillian Carney from Masconomet in the start. Time for Evie, 24.65. Lillian Carney now on course. In the start is Aish Cobury from Austin Prep. Time for Lillian, 24.89. Aish Cobury from Austin Prep on course. Mia Bono from North Andover in the start. Time for Aish, 30.64. Mia Bono on course, and Gwen Berger from Manchester, Essex in the start. Time for Mia, 29.87. Gwen Berger on course. Orly Hess from Haverhill in the start.
All right, we got one car left. The Volkswagen Golf, 72K S60. From Massachusetts registration, you need to move your car immediately. That's a Volkswagen Golf, 72K S60. You need to move your car immediately.
Time for Gwen, 37.17. Orly Hess on course, and Margaret Borenstein from Andover in the start. Time for Orly, 32.66. Margaret Borenstein on course. Megan Richard from Masconomet in the start. Time for Margaret, 27.02. Megan Richard on course. Caroline Kelly from Austin Prep in the start. Time for Megan Richard, 26.28. Caroline Kelly on course. Kate Kingsley from North Andover in the start. Time for Caroline, 29.65. Kate Kingsley on course. Aubrey Fitch from Manchester, Essex in the start. Time for Kate Kingsley, 31.63. On course is Katie Mashold from Andover, or Machold. In the start is Kayla McNulty from Masconomet. Time for Katie, 30.06. Kayla McNulty on course, and Lily Rizza from Austin Prep in the start. Time for Kaylin, 27.74. Lily Rizzo on course. Quinn Phillips from North Andover in the start. Time for Lily, 30.06. Quinn Phillips on course, and Ela Martin from Manchester, Essex in the start. Time for Quinn, 31.54. Ela Martin from Manchester, Essex on course. Time for Ela, 38.14. That concludes today's varsity race. The junior varsity race will start in approximately 5 minutes. Thank you. State JV race is about to begin. First one down in the start is Krista Calhoun from Andover.
Andover 1. Turn the light back on. I see it coming on.
On course is Krista Calhoun. In the start is Great Chachio from Masconomet.
Negative, no. Going at 1 wanted. That break out of the Nashville 1.
Time for Krista Calhoun, 26.31. Grace Chachio from Masco, on course. In the start, Lillian Fix from Austin Prep. Time for Grace, 25.18. Lillian Fix, on course. Ava Jennings from North Andover in the start. Time for Lillian, 30.35. Ava Jennings on course. Rose Warner from Manchester, Essex in the start. Time for Ava, 32.54. Rose Warner on course. Megan Rickers from Andover in the start. Time for Rose Warner, 22.32. Megan Rickers on course from Andover. Ella Bernard from Masconomet in the start. Time for Megan, 27.50. Ella Bernard from Masco on course. Rachel Coons from Austin Prep in the start. Time for Ella, 27.42. Rachel Coons on course. Karen and Dave from Manchester, Essex in the start. Time for Rachel, 28.65. Kieran Day on course. Anna Broderick from Andover in the start. Time for Kieran Day, 24.33. Anna Broderick from Andover on course. Molly Lane from Masco in the start. Time for Anna Broderick, 29.06. Molly Lane on course. In the start is Grace Busser from Austin Prep. Time for Molly, 29.28. Grace Busser on course. In the start is Estelle Rankin from Andover. Time for Grace, 31.26. Estelle Rankin on course, and Abigail Ruggles from Masconomet in the start. Time for Estelle, 28.65. Abigail Ruggles on course. Anna Dahlman from Austin Prep in the start. Time for Abigail, 28.31. Anna Dahlman from Austin Prep on course. Rory Gerhardt from Manchester, Essex in the start.
Was it in the race? No. Cheering.
Time for Anna Dahlman, 30.36. Rory Gerhardt from Manchester, Essex on course. Grace Malloy from Andover in the start. Time for Rory, 30.31. Grace Malloy on course. Abby Fillmore from Masconomet in the start. Time for Grace, 27.05. Abby Fillmore on course. Paige Martin from Austin Prep in the start. Time for Abby, 30.52. Paige Martin from Austin Prep on course. Isabella Buckley from Andover in the start. Another DNS. Time for Paige, 32.82. Isabella Buckley on course. Ava Pacillo from Masconomet in the start. Time for Isabella, 29.45. Ava Pacillo on course. Taylor Grove from Austin Prep in the start. Time for Ava, 29.88. Taylor Grove on course. Isabel Marquis from Andover in the start. Time for Taylor, 30.71. Isabel Marquis on course, and Sophia Farmer from Masconomet in the start. Time for Isabel, 28.60. Sophia Farmer on course. Julia Essler from Austin Prep in the start. Time for Sophia, 33.84. Julia Essler on course. Audrey Haskell from Andover in the start. Time for Julia, 37.05. Audrey Haskell on course and Morris Smith from Masco in the start. Time for Audrey, 29.56. Morris Smith on course. Nevy Fitzgerald from Austin Prep in the start. Time for Mara, 36.57. Nevy Fitzgerald on course and Isabel Sr. from Andover in the start. Time for Nevy, 35.12. Isabel Sr. on course. Emily Laws from Masconomet in the start. Time for Isabel, 30.59. Emily Laws on course and Lila Gratian from Austin Prep in the start. Time for Emily, 32.86. Lila Gratian on course and Anat Briskin from Andover in the start. On course is Caitlin Gagney from Austin Prep. In the start will be Angela Mack from Andover. Masco's Maggie Bucher is on course. Time for Maggie, 37.39. Caitlin Gagney on course and Angela Mack from Andover in the start. Time for Caitlin, 41.5. Angela Mack on course, Abby O'Keefe from Austin Prep in the start. Time for Angela, 30.98. Abby O'Keefe on course, Melody Tagg from Andover in the start. Time for Abby O'Keefe, 33.12. In the start is Haley Grove from Austin Prep. Haley is now on course. Yep, handover ready.
You have handover 13 next? Okay. Yeah, you're on the 13.
Time for Haley, 74.35. Kara Donahue from Andover on course. Kate DeSoro from Austin Prep in the start.
Wait, the first one's the wrong bit.
Kara Donahue, 29.84. Kate DeSoro from Austin Prep in the start.
Yeah, there's the end of 14, right? Alright, that's fine. Yeah, this is going to be end of 14. Yeah, okay, right. You have the end of 14. Well, wait, oh, it's getting me. No, you're good.
Time for Kate DeSoro, 31.45. Jocelyn Barton from Andover in the start. Jocelyn now on course, and Caroline Ferlizzi from Austin Prep in the start.
Yes, Caroline!
Time for Jocelyn, 29.87. Caroline Ferlizzi on course from Austin, and in the start is Grace Wang from Andover.
Yes, Caroline! Go,
Grace Wang.
Processing.
Go, Caroline! Yes, Caroline! Go, Caroline!
In the start is Catherine Cancro from Austin Prep. Time for Caroline, 42.16. And Catherine Cancro is now on course. Time for Catherine, 36.84. That concludes the junior varsity race. It was a wonderful day for all. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Austin Prep 9, JV, ESQ. Got it, Coach?
Ryan, can you send me the YouTube link tonight?
That's all.
Yeah, I'll make sure.
Sorry?
I'll have Bill do it.
Okay, great, thank you. And then I'll send out to all the coaches. Ryan, I'll send you all the link to today's race. It's a YouTube link.
It'll be right on that same thing. Yeah, it'll change for the next 5 months.
Right. But you sent me last time the YouTube link.
Right. So tonight, if you want to see it tonight, it's going to be on the same link.
On that Google Doc, and you can
Yeah.
leave them all up.
Yep. I appreciate that.
It's really helpful.